Welcome to Scandal Sandwich, where scandals are stacked, high secrets spread thicker than creamy mayo, and the drama always gets toasted.
I'm starting to think we need to trademark that intro.
Maybe we should. But on to today's juicy scandal. We're diving headfirst into a lawsuit against Fox Sports that's sending shockwaves through the sports world.
Yeah, this one's a real doozy, allegations of sexual harassment, misconduct, and some seriously messy personal dynamics.
Let's break it down for the folks at home. We're talking about a lawsuit filed by Nushin Faraji, a former hairstylist at Fox Sports.
Right, and she's naming some big names in her suit. Commentator Skip Bayless, high-ranking executive Charlie Dixon, and even star host Joy Taylor.
Okay, so let's start with the allegations against Bayless Faraji. Claims he made unwanted advances toward her, even offering her money for sex.
And she alleges that he threatened her job if she didn't comply.
Then there's Dixon Faraji says he groped her at a party.
Pretty serious stuff. If these allegations are true, it paints a picture of a toxic workplace where people in power are abusing their authority.
Now here's where things get even more complicated. The lawsuit also delves into Joy Taylor's personal life and alleges she used relationships to climb the career ladder.
Buckle up, folks, because this is where the internet really exploded.
So Faraji claims Taylor had relationships with both Dixon and another Fox Sports personality, Emmanuel Acho.
And the lawsuit suggests that Taylor strategically used these relationships to advance her career.
Specifically, she got a coveted spot on the show, undisputed, shortly after her relationship with Dixon allegedly began.
And later she starts dating Acho, a former NFL player who also became a commentator on Fox Sports 1.
They even ended up co-hosting a show together.
Now, whether any of these relationships were actually inappropriate or unethical is still up for debate. But one thing's for sure, this lawsuit has tapped into some deeply held societal biases about how women achieve success.
Yeah, we're seeing that play out online where a lot of the focus has been on Taylor's alleged actions.
While the accusations against Bayless and Dixon seem to be getting less attention.
And some of the commentary has been downright nasty.
Jason Whitlock, a former Fox Sports host, has been particularly vocal.
He basically accused Taylor of using her looks and relationships to get ahead.
Which really highlights the double standard women often face. It's like people are almost looking for reasons to discredit their accomplishments.
It's as if some people just can't believe a woman can be successful on her own merits.
It's like they need to find some other explanation, some secret weapon she used to get to the top.
It's really disheartening to see.
But this case has definitely sparked a conversation about the challenges women face in sports media, even if some of that conversation is coming from a not-so-great place.
Okay, so we've laid out the basic allegations. But let's dig a little deeper into some of the specifics surrounding Taylor and the relationship she allegedly had with Dixon and Acho.
We need to be careful here. Remember, these are just allegations, and Taylor herself hasn't commented publicly on any of this.
Right, we're not here to judge or pass sentence, but it's important to examine the claims being made and what they might tell us about the culture at Fox Sports and the broader media landscape.
Yeah. Exactly. So let's take a closer look at what the lawsuit says about Taylor's alleged relationships and how they may have impacted her career. You know what's really interesting about this case?
What's that?
It's not just about what happened or didn't happen between these individuals.
Okay, I see what you mean.
It's like this whole thing has blown the lid off this bigger issue of how we view women in positions of power.
Especially in fields like sports media, which have traditionally been dominated by men.
Exactly. Think about it. This isn't the first time Fox has been hit with this kind of scandal.
True. Their news division has had its fair share of controversies, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Roger Ailes, Bill O'Reilly, those were huge scandals involving allegations of sexual harassment.
And let's not forget about Jamie Horowitz. He was a president at Fox Sports, right?
That's right. He was ousted after allegations of sexual harassment surfaced.
So it's not just an isolated incident. It makes you wonder about the overall workplace culture at Fox, Are there systemic issues that allow this kind of behavior to flourish?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
And then you layer on top of that the specific challenges women face in sports journalism.
Oh, it's a whole other level of complicated.
I mean, it's crazy to think that just a few decades ago, women were literally fighting for basic access.
Right. Like Melissa Lutke in 1978, she had to sue Major League Baseball just to get into the locker rooms to do her job.
Can you imagine having to go to court just to be able to interview players like your male colleagues?
It's mind-boggling. And while things have definitely improved in terms of access, the subtle sexism and double standards persist.
Oh, absolutely. We saw it with Cam Newton a few years back when he made that dismissive comment to a female reporter who asked him a perfectly valid question.
It's like women are constantly being scrutinized, judged, and held to a different standard.
And there's this added pressure because they know any mistake they make will be magnified.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. It's like they have to be twice as good just to be considered half as competent.
And this case really brings all those anxieties and biases to the surface.
Especially with how Joy Taylor is being treated online.
Right. Jason Whitlock, even though he's not at Fox anymore, his comments about her are still fueling the fire.
It's like he's saying that the only way a woman could achieve what Taylor has is by using her looks and sleeping her way to the top.
Which is such a harmful and reductive way of thinking,
It ignores all the hard work, talent, and dedication that she's put in.
and it perpetuates this dangerous idea that women can't be successful on their own merits.
It's like we're stuck in this loop where society just refuses to accept that women can be both attractive and ambitious.
And that their success might actually be due to their skills and intelligence.
Crazy, right? But in all this focus on Joy Taylor, it's important that we don't lose sight of Nushin Faraji.
Oh, absolutely. She's the one who brought this whole thing to light.
Her allegations are serious, and they deserve to be taken seriously.
She's alleging a hostile work environment at Fox Sports. And her lawsuit even mentions other women who experience similar treatment but are afraid to come forward.
If that's true, it suggests a pattern of behavior that needs to be addressed.
It raises questions about whether Fox has adequate systems in place to protect its employees from harassment and misconduct.
And whether those systems are actually effective in holding perpetrators accountable.
This case has definitely opened up a Pandora's box of issues that extend far beyond Fox Sports.
It's a reflection of the ongoing struggle for gender equality in the workplace.
And it highlights the need for a deeper conversation about how we treat women in positions of power.
We can't just focus on individual cases. We need to examine the systemic issues that allow this kind of behavior to persist. You know, it's easy to get lost in the weeds with a case like this, but I think it's important to step back and really look at the bigger picture.
What do you mean?
Well, this whole situation with Joy Taylor really highlights how even when women break into male-dominated fields like sports media,
Right.
they still face these ridiculous double standards.
Totally. I mean, regardless of what happened or didn't happen between her and Dixon or Acho, the amount of judgment and scrutiny she's facing online is insane.
It's like people are just waiting for a woman to stumble so they can say, "See, I told you so." They can't handle it. They're all using their looks to get ahead.
And that's where Jason Whitlock's comments come in.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about pouring gasoline on the fire.
It's like he's giving everyone permission to just dismiss Taylor's accomplishments and reduce her to nothing more than a pretty face who slept her way to the top.
It's infuriating. And it's so damaging because it reinforces this idea that a woman's success always has to come at the expense of something else.
Exactly. It's like they can't possibly be talented and successful without some kind of ulterior motive.
So frustrating.
It is. And it's not just about Joy Taylor. It's about all women who are trying to make it in fields where they're constantly being judged and underestimated.
So how do we change that? How do we create a more equitable environment where women aren't constantly facing these hurdles?
Well, I think it starts with awareness. We need to recognize those biases within ourselves and challenge them when we see them in others.
And we need to be more thoughtful about the language we use and the assumptions we make about women in positions of power.
We also need to celebrate and support the women who are breaking down barriers and achieving great things.
Absolutely. And when we see them being unfairly criticized or attacked, we need to speak up and defend them.
This whole case has been a wake-up call in a lot of ways. It's exposed some ugly truths about the media industry and society as a whole.
Yeah.
But I think it's also an opportunity for us to learn and grow and to create a better future for everyone.
This deep dive has been eye-opening, to say the least.
Yeah,
But I think the conversation needs to continue.
absolutely. It's time for us to move beyond these tired stereotypes and double standards and to start recognizing and celebrating women for their talent, hard work, and dedication.
So to all our listeners out there, what are your thoughts on this case? How do we create a more equitable world for women in sports, media, and beyond? Let us know, because this is a conversation that needs to keep going.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the Fox Sports scandal. And remember, it's not just about this one case. It's about creating a world where everyone has the opportunity to succeed on their own merits.
Until next time, stay scandalous.